here today to do a quick tutorial on Classi Creations' new Longarm seam setter bungee cord system. I love this system because it keeps my quilts straight and square as I quilt along. I have this system set up today on a quilt I've already quilted, but you'll use the same technique on your unquilted quilts. You want to find reference points that will be consistent throughout your whole quilt. In this case, my borders are going to remain the same point. The on-point blocks will remain the same, and then the borders on the right side. So these are going to be my reference points as I advance my quilt. Now you'll place these reference points or toggles on your quilt when you first put your quilt onto your machine or your frame, and you will go ahead and put one toggle. I've used one on the side seam. You want to always use the side seam for the first one. Then on my quilt, I've used one between the 6-inch and the 2-inch border, and then one between the 2 and the 1-inch border. These vertical seams should remain the same throughout the quilt. I also have a point that I can use as a reference throughout this process. If you have blocks that are vertical or vertical seams in your quilts, you can use those as your reference points. On this particular quilt though, I've used those points of the diamond blocks or blocks on point, and you can see each one has remained the same. Now to set the toggles, all you're going to do is press in the spring, and you can slide the toggle on the bungee cord. You'll want to set these bungee cords, as I said, at the very beginning so that you don't move those and then your reference point changes as you advance your quilt. You want to keep your toggles on the same reference points throughout the quilt that you set them on when you first started quilting the quilt. So leave those toggles in line. Make sure your borders and your blocks or your vertical seams stay consistent. And when you finish your quilt, you'll have a great square quilt just like I do. You'll enjoy this system.